Places one. All right. Yes, we're in places. Okay, we're going live. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new show, Design Grab Bag, with our friend Emily Poulin. Hi, Emily.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. How are you
Oh,
doing?
I'm doing just fantastic. And hello to everyone in chat. I know we have a lot of friends in here. Our friend Wade, we were just talking about Wade before we went live. We love your name. Angela's here. Anyone else? Let us know where you're from, where you're watching, and who you are. Let's do some intros. And speaking of intros, there's someone hanging out on the other side of the screen here that I would love to introduce you all to. Hi, Emily.
Hey. Can I look at you this way? I don't know which way we're
You're
facing.
other way. Other way. There we go. There's our screen cap. I want to introduce Emily. She's an amazing, incredible designer. We've actually had the pleasure to work together for quite a while, but I'm going to let her do the honors. Emily, tell us about you. Who are you? What do you do?
Who am I? My name is Emily. I live in California. I'm a graphic designer, good friends with Andrew, and just so honored to be here on the Grab Bag initial episode.
Yes. Okay, so that leads us into an intro, but first I want to show you all. Emily is on Instagram if you want to follow her, just Emily Poulin. It's actually spelled differently than her actual name. So you can follow right there. I'm sure there will be a link over in chat. Wade or Val will be dropping it there. So make sure you follow along. You also can follow either of us on social medias. On Behance, there will be links. I think there's a button that's over there somewhere. It's funny because I can see the layout, but I'm not sure where it actually is. So there's a button that you can follow along. But make sure that you hang out and follow Emily. And that's right, Emily, it's a new show, and you just said what the title is. Do you want to go ahead and intro the show and maybe talk a little bit about what you think it is from our description?
Yes, I was going to say, so this is my first time being on it, the first time it going live in general, and Andrew briefly pitched me on it. So I will tell you what I think I'm about to do, and then you can tell me if that's what I'm about to do.
I love this. Yes, go for it.
Okay, fair. So there has been a mysterious folder compiled of, I believe, like typefaces, textures, colors, who knows? And you're going to show that to me in the near future. And then I'm going to build a brand over the next 2 days using these elements, and it's going to be amazing.
Yes, that is exactly true. So the new show is called, there we go, Graphic Grab Bag, as you can see over there. And Graphic Grab Bag is just as Emily said, that it is basically, if any of you watch Chopped, it's Chopped for designers. That's literally all that it is. So we have made a Creative Cloud library for you, Emily, and the audience, and we can all participate. We can all make something, and we're going to open it together and then figure out what we're going to make over the next 2 days. So a quick little nod to our mods. If you want to drop that link, it is just bit.ly/graphic grab bag with each of the words capitalized, and it will send you to a page that looks like this. There we go. It'll send you to a page that looks like this, Graphic Grab Bag. It is a shared Creative Cloud folder that I have made for you, and you can simply click on Copy to Your Work, and you will have our Creative Cloud library to unpack, to open with us, and you can work on something and post it on social media or Behance using hashtag Graphic Grab Bag, and we'll check those out each time that we do this show. We'll come back and take a look. Ooh, you guys are lucky I have that emergency cough button there, because that was a loud one. All right, Emily.
All the introducing.
Yes, it's all the introducing. There's too much talking happening. So yes, if you are in chat, everyone's super excited. Agreed. I'm super excited. Make sure you go to the link, sync your Creative Cloud folder. You can work along with us. But to do that, you need to know what's in that folder. So Emily, do you want to go ahead and open up that folder? And you can kind of read out the things, and I'll show on my screen what we're looking at in that Creative Cloud library.
Yes. Okay. So I have the folder open, and the first thing I'm seeing is we have character styles. So we have 3 typefaces, which you've chosen. Duality, steel.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Any choice of why the name? Did you choose that based on the name or based how it looks?
So I chose it on how it looks. Okay. Really, I try to mix up these baskets, mix up these libraries to be a little bit eclectic. And I thought that was one that was just approachable enough to do something with, but still a little wonky. So for those at home, this is what duality looks like. Let's go ahead and sync that from our library over there. It's a little wonky, a little zany, but a lot of fun. All right, what else we got in there, Emily?
Okay, so we have a few different weights of duality. It looks like we have steel, sand, and regular, which I'm sure you're going to sync all of those. up next, we have colors. We have amethyst, which I do love, and burned orange. Different from burnt orange, but burned orange.
Oh, wow. Yes,
You've been in the sun a little bit.
That was intentionally, yeah, too much. So we do have this amethyst color that is in our library, as well as this burned orange, not burnt. Orange. It is burned. Yes, absolutely. And then there's a couple other things. What else we got?
I'm seeing like a textured image. It looks kind of like a granite, like a rock texture, maybe like a quartz or a something like that. Am I right there? Is that the right texture?
Yes, that is. So there is a texture here. It's a TIFF. And so if you put a TIFF file into a Creative Cloud library, you can actually change the color of it very easily. So it is a kind of granite-y texture, which we'll be working with today in that library. And we also have a couple things up here that are kind of marks and lines. But there's something interesting. Emily, have you ever worked with graphic styles?
I feel like a handful of times, yes.
Okay, cool. So what we have in here is a graphic style. And as we're pulling things out of the library, if you hold Alt or Option, it's actually going to place that on your document as a vector form. And if you pull out this rough graphic style, if you go to your graphic styles panel, which is right here, we actually have that graphic style now. So that's something that will apply in the future. Has a nice little roughen on it, has a little bit of texture, a little bit of glow, so we can apply that with our brand. So we have all of these elements in the library, and hopefully you all are working along with us at home. Emily, let's flip over to your screen and tell us a little bit about what is your approach, what are your thoughts on all these elements? Where do we think that we want to take it?
Well, you know, I don't know. Okay, well, firstly, I just want to say, you can see my screen okay? You can see my library, all of that jazz.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to put you over here in the corner. I'm just going to, I'm going to just pull all these elements out. I know we were talking about them, but I just want to make sure that I have them, and hopefully as I'm, looking at them, they're going to give me a little bit of a, where'd my library go? Inspiration here.
Yes. It's funny whenever I'm watching any of like the Chopped or anything, there's like, man, they look at it and then they're like ready to go. And so I love the idea of doing a brand in the opposite that we usually do, right? There's usually a ton of intake. There's like client conversations of like, no, let's do the elements and then figure out what the brand is on the other side. Do you ever work in this way, Emily, that you're like, oh, I have this typeface I like, or these colors that I like, let's find a client for it? Or is it always the other way around?
That's a good point. Actually, I think sometimes I'll have like a little repository of like, oh, I found this one day while I was, on Typekit, and I think it's really cool, but I don't have a use for it yet. And then like the right project will come along, but I don't usually like go on the hunt like after I just find like one and I'm like, who's gonna get this typeface or whatever.
Yep. And it's funny because I think that like I build these Creative Cloud libraries in my brain. Like as I see things, you're like, oh, this would be a cool client if like this purple and green combo that I used on this project would be really cool for like a regular client somewhere else. And so, yeah, it's super fun to do that. And Uriel, so I'm a noob. How do I access it after I have saved to my work? You can open up the Creative Cloud desktop app and it will be in there, or you can go in and simply download the Creative Cloud library and then open it in Illustrator in the libraries panel.
Okay, these are really fun textures. I'm kind of loving these.
You're welcome, world.
What a great grab bag, may I say.
We wanted to make the first one a hit. And as you all are tuning in, these main sessions that are happening on Adobe Live, we're switching them up a little bit. So today is a new segment, like you're seeing, called Graphic Grab Bag. And then from there, we are going to be doing another show called Imagibranding, where we do some UI UX design with really crazy creative briefs. And then in the future, we'll be doing another show called Ping Pong PSD. And if you guys are familiar at all with a structure called layer tennis that happened a little while ago, it's going to be two photo compositors working on the same file in 2 different days, seeing how they can build. So we're trying to flip it up a little bit, keep it fresh.
All right, so I'm really looking at this graphic texture here, this graphic style. This is going to be interesting.
Right? It's got a little bit of extra like edge and almost looks like torn paper, like kind of, I don't know, it's just got like a nice little vibe to it.
Very Andrew texture style, I feel like, if I may say.
It's very true. And it looks like maybe our screen share has frozen once again.
Oh no, okay.
So yeah, this happened, Zoom's having some issues on our side. So while Emily goes out and then comes back in, I'm going to switch back to my screen, and I'm going to show you guys how you can import Creative Cloud library. So Emily, if you want to drop out, restart that screen share, and then come back in, I will take over for now. So hi everyone in chat, what's up? We're going to hang out for a second. What I want to show you is how to import a Creative Cloud library. So if you don't have the window open, you can go to Window, and you can go to CC Library. Oh, it is not CC Libraries. It is just libraries here. Or there we go, libraries. And here are all of your libraries. Every library that you have access to, every library that someone has shared with you. And it should show up in here in your all libraries folder. If not, you can open up a new library by hitting this plus. And you can add libraries, and you can create a new library, you can find or browse shared libraries. And that's probably where it's going to be once you copy to your work, is look at that browse shared libraries, and it will probably show up there. All right, Emily, if we want to do the screen share again, let's see if it pulls through and the magic happens. There we go. It's a winner.
Amazing. You know, I had my iPad connected, and I feel like maybe that was like a little too much for it to handle today.
Oh yeah, it's fine. We live for chaos on this show. That's how it works.
Yes, in the effort of grab bag, indeed chaos is one of them.
Yes, and the future is too bright. That's what happened, yes.
All right. Okay, so I had a little bit of time to think, and I'm feeling like something gritty and textured is what we're going to do here, because I'm seeing a lot of like texture in this graphic style, in this texture, for lack of a better word, in this like kind of like rocky texture.
Yes.
And even these letters are just, you know, they're just so wonky, I believe is the word you used, yeah?
Wonky in a good way, yeah.
Yeah, wonky in the best way, like Willy Wonka, but wonky.
It's like being fat. It's like the fat with a PH, but like yes, Wonka. Yeah, wonky like the Willy Wonka way. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I think maybe let's do something like gemstone related, or something like.
Ooh, yeah, like almost like minor vibes, like an actual like person mining.
Not minor as in like
not
little
like,
or but like. Or yeah.
I think that's interesting, and almost like in my brain, it's like almost like apothecary-ish, maybe.
Yeah, like you would prescribe me like a rock for, I don't know, my ailments or inspiration or something.
I love that. Okay, so that's the client that we're gonna be working for. Let's brainstorm maybe some names. And chat, as you're working on this, the hope with this show is that you go like literally anywhere with it. So you don't have to do the gemstone store like we're gonna do. You can do whatever you want that inspires you with these assets, and then make sure you post on Behance using hashtag #GraphicGrabBag, and we'll see it after the fact if you're working along with us. But yes, gemstones, we're on board. Voodoo Val loves it. Do we have a name, Emily?
Yeah, you know, so I'm gonna like brainstorm some ideas here, because I nothing comes to mind immediately. So yeah, if chat has any great ideas, or you know, any preference for a certain rock or gemstone.
Okay, yes. So let's do like live brainstorm. So Emily and I have worked together forever, and one of our favorite things to do is just brainstorm ideas. So we're gonna brainstorm ideas. Chat, if you have ideas, go ahead and put those in. I'm watching chat as well. I almost wonder if there's a play on like a geode, but doing like an OMG, like it's like GOMG, but like it doesn't quite work, right?
Okay. I'm gonna put OMG on like the shop category side, and we'll see if that can work in.
Love it.
That's really funny. Or like rockery, a rookery. I know a rookery is like a penguin thing.
Oh yeah, I wonder if we do like like apothecary, but like rock, like a rockacary.
A rock could also be like a like rock music situation as well in the background.
That's true. Yeah, there's like stones, there's gems. I'm trying to think of words. Black ruby. Ooh, that's a classy name.
Ooh, someone said black ruby.
Yeah.
Is that an actual stone?
I don't know, but I'd want to see it.
Can we have one of those little like jeweler things? What are those called when they like appraise the gem?
Oh,
I like to wear one of those for the reminder of
maybe
this whole...
Maybe that's one of like the brand elements that we create.
Oh, it's a loop, isn't it? Like LOOP, loop.
Oh, here, this is like literally. Oh, okay. I think we have the name.
What is it?
So Aaron Frank on YouTube. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, come over to Behance. That's the place we are. Behance.net/live. OMGO'd.
Okay, OMGO'd is the one.
I think that's it. That's really good.
Okay,
and yes,
I like it.
Geodude, I know we're going like straight on Pokemon, and it looks like maybe our screen has frozen again. I'm
No, are you
so concerned.
serious?
Yes. So I'll
Okay.
hop back over, and I think what's gonna happen is as we fix these, it's gonna be both me designing alongside you, and so go ahead and
You can just go
restart
back
that
and
screen
forth.
share,
I'm with it.
and I am going to start my idea. And my idea for these things is it actually is like a record company to me is the
Ooh.
idea. And so I think that, and I think you may have to leave and come back in again. It's
Oh,
still
I need to
doing,
leave all the way. All right,
yeah.
guys.
All
I'll be
right.
right
Bye,
back.
everyone. All right. So I think that I want to do like a record store thing. It just feels like these colors to me, just multiplying, feel like they would be really cool, like multiplied together. So let's like put this down here. Oops. And it's got like that cool kind of vintage look to me. So I'm going to play around with that in the background. If we have any more technical difficulties with Zoom, I'm just going to continue playing with that because I think that those textures are just super, super interesting. All right, back to you, Emily. We are here.
All right, what did I miss with your record store?
I had the idea of like multiplying the colors on each other because I think it would look really cool, and that started to look really good.
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Is this how we spell geode? Can I get like a check on that?
OMG. Yes, that is right.
I'm gonna spell check it. Let's just see.
Yes.
How do you run spell check, Andrew, when you do like work? Do you run spell check at the end?
Control I. Control
really?
Command I. Yeah. It depending on what platform you're on, the hotkey and then I is spell check, and it will spell check for you. You also can turn on auto spell check, which I'll actually confirm how to do right now. But there is a way to turn on spell check.
Command I. Wow, look at that. I'm learning something new. I'm so glad I'm here on this stream.
Yes.
Okay. Geode is spelled right. I like that. OM geode. I kind of like, is it okay if we spell it this way? I kind of like it separate like that because I feel like this is hard to understand.
Yes, I agree. I think both of them work. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure yet if I like this in all caps or lowercase, so I'm gonna like see which typeface because this G feels a little bit too wonky for my preference. But I don't mind it in the big uppercase, so I think I might do it that way.
There are so many times that happens to me for when I'm typing something. I'm like, this like one specific thing looks wonky. But then, like, I like the rest of it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And yes, Uriel. So are we allowed to use other things too, or just what's in the library? You can use whatever you want. So I'm sure that as we get into stuff, Emily will work on some illustration stuff, kind of play around with different things. So you can use literally whatever you want, and you can do that through. And yes, it does look like the screen is frozen again. Not sure what's happening here, but
okay.
We're gonna troubleshoot. And let's do this, Emily. We're gonna get really crazy. Let's have you literally just restart that computer, and then come back in after that, and I'll keep working over on the record store idea.
Okay, that sounds great.
Good luck, everyone. Here we go. All right, so coming back over to my screen. Oh, there's a whole bunch of me. There we go. So coming back over to my screen, we're going to be working on this idea for a record store. And I think the thing that really got me was the texture that I was working on in the library. So I'm going to pull this over here and place it in. There we go. So I think this texture is like just a cool vibe. I'm actually going to crop it in down here. There we go. We're going to apply that. Cool. So I got this little vibe, and I really want to see what it looks like to have this like texture in the purple, like multiplied over. Because I think that's rad. Like it just screams like record cover or record store to me. And so I'm going to start playing around with names, which this is where you come in, chat. What do we want the name of our record store to be as we dual stream this double stream? Oops, there's just a whole bunch of me, yeah. What do we want our record store to be called? I think let's do... I want to do like, let's do Brink. I don't know why, but Brink is like the best Disney Channel original movie. If you guys have any Disney Channel original movies that you love, Brink has always been mine. That and Johnny Tsunami of like going off the Richter. Those are the ones that just I grew up with. So I'm going to go ahead and again, if you have any text selected, you can just select that text and then change it over using that graphic style, and it will make that graphic style apply. So I like the duality steel, and people like Brink. I agree. Brink is a good one. Yes. Okay, cool. So we have Brink here. I do want to see what it looks like in this kind of brown multiplied on. See, that looks cool. And I wonder if we start layering like different versions of this type, right? And I love fonts that have multiple variations, so you can play around with the doubles. So check this out. If we grab this purple up here, I wonder if we can just like overlay. Right? Like maybe this texture isn't in the background, that we just have these two. Oh yes, Cool Runnings. That's another great one. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Oh, Don't Look Under My Bed. Yes. Those are all absolute rock stars. All right. So we have something going here for this Brink idea. I'm actually going to try to change both of these. That's kind of cool. All right. Emily is back. Emily, let's try the screen share. Let's try to keep it going. Let's see what happens.
Should we do it? All right, let me open my document. What did I miss while I was gone?
We kept working on, so we decided to name it Brink, my record store.
Brink.
And we talked about our favorite Disney Channel original movies. Do you have a favorite Disney Channel original movie?
Do I?
Yes.
Oh man, a favorite. Honestly, growing up, I didn't have Disney Channel. Like, I think we only had it on the weekend, so I feel like I didn't actually get to see it. Okay. But I do remember A Cinderella Story. I feel like that was a Disney original.
Okay. Yep.
Right? Maybe with like Hilary Duff.
Yes, I believe that.
I'm not sure.
I think that yes. So I mean, Hilary Duff was Hilary Duff is definitely a zone for that. Yes. All right. So we're coming back over here. It has frozen again.
Okay.
My life is so stressed. You know, I'm not sure what to do here, but we are going to keep it vibing. I'm going
to turn on my Wi-Fi and see if that works. I was working off of Ethernet, and I feel like that might have been the issue. So let me stop the share.
Yes, absolutely.
This is turning into like a tech stream.
It's true. It's a tech stream. And here's the thing. A lot of times things go wrong on the fly, and you got to learn to work with it. And so that's what we're doing.
I'm going to blame the rain that we're having in California right now that, just doesn't work.
Yes, it's true. And this is now turning into a double stream, which is not a bad thing. I'm down.
I know, yeah. 2 for the price of 1. I mean, okay. Can you see my screen now?
No. So we'll probably have to have you drop the call and then come back in and then try to do that screen share again. And yeah, we're keeping the vibes going, everyone.
I'm going to be right back.
Yeah. Emily will be right back. She's always here. And yes, such is life. We're vibing. We're having fun. We're making some stuff. I want to play around with this like cross out kind of thing. I think it's an interesting vibe for a record store. That it's like, I don't know, it just feels like rebellious and crazy. So we'll try it. All right, Emily, I'm going to cut back over here and let's see if we can get another screen share going. All right. Are we there?
Can you see it?
We can see it. It is indeed not moving still.
Okay, well, stationary is my preferred state of working, so maybe that's what it is here. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to check my network and jump that one.
All right, let's keep it going there. And again, let's come back over. Here we go. All right, so we're working on like a cross out kind of like strike through vibe, just because I think that it would be interesting. I think I've done this in a lot of work actually. But I'm going to make it the way that I want it and then work my way backwards. So like I want something like this. It's like punchy and kind of aggressive, and then we'll work backwards into those other colors. All right. So it looks like Emily's screen is moving. So we are going to go back over there. We have a mouse. It is moving. I'm not going to touch anything. We're going to hold on for hope.
Can you see Illustrator?
Yes, we can see Illustrator. There's a mouse that's moving around, and I think that things are happening.
Okay, great. So we're not going to touch anything.
Love it.
And it's going to be perfect. Okay, great. OMG'd. That's my phrase of today. That is how I'm feeling right now. Very OMG'd.
It's true. Like that we're like rough on the outside and someone's hitting us with a hammer, but like now that we've cracked, we
Now
are
that we've
fully open and we are glorious and beautiful on the inside.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we can see a big part of my design process is actually me just moving things around in my artboard a million times because for whatever reason that really seems to help me see it better. I don't know why.
I only think of design as like scrapbooking. I think like anytime that I'm designing, my brain is like, oh, it's just scrapbooking. Like we're just moving things around as they scrap.
I mean, yeah, that's actually, yeah, I could see that.
Okay, what are you doing right now? Because I've seen so many brand standards of people that do this that have like the cascades, and I don't understand it. Like what's the zone here?
You know, I wouldn't have said the word cascade, so I don't, do you mean like, does that mean like color, like gradient almost?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, looking at these two colors sitting side by side, I felt like I didn't really feel like there was a connection. And so I'm trying to find like either a shade connection between them. So I'm going to explore like different shades of the same color, or hues, I suppose is the right word. Let me get technical here. To see if like, okay, maybe if I like added this in between, does that feel like more cohesive to me now? And this is something I actually do with clients a lot. If they come in like, hey, I want this one color, and I'm like trying to build out a palette around it, you know? So I just wanted to pull out those to see if there's just anything else there. And then I'm gonna go in and see if like there are any other, what's like matches, I suppose are the word, or like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Related colors to.
Yeah, and you're over in the color guide panel, it looks like.
I am in the guide panel, yes, which gives you like the actual words of tetrads and triads and, you know,
that's insane. So yeah, I haven't used that pretty much at all. And so it's interesting.
Really?
Like that's definitely a zone of Illustrator that I've never touched, is exploring colors over there. And so it's really cool to see a new tool. And then like even the colors that I picked, I was like, oh, we'll make them like random and like kind of crazy. And I'm like, I don't know how these are going to go together. But then like you're finding ways to make them go together. And it's like, cool, we kind of have a palette almost going.
Yeah. And one thing that I like about this too is like, it helps you stay on track and not just choose like colors that you typically like, or like that, you know, because then suddenly you look at your work and you're like, wow, everything is yellow or whatever that is. And so this kind of helps me like find related colors and like things like that.
Yep.
Okay, so I feel like this blue does not really vibe as much as I wanted it to, but maybe like these two go together, and then maybe this blue and this purple could go together if we do some like layering or something. So maybe it's like a little more golden gems, and then these ones feel like a little more like magical to me.
Okay.
A little more Disney Channel, you know?
And I think we've talked about this before on branding streams. Like, I feel like it's very often that you hear designers talk about like the vibe. Is that kind of where we are now? Is it's just like only vibe checks? Like we're kind of working on something, but we're just doing like vibe checks constantly?
Okay, so by vibe check, are you saying like just like aesthetic? Like I'm not actually like doing anything, it's just more like the supporting, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, because we kind of talked about how you just like throw things, you're like moving things around right now, that it's like, cool, we're not actually trying to like make a thing, we're just trying to like get the vibe of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's like when you like get dressed in the morning or something and you're like, ooh, I really like this one shirt, and now I need to like build like the vibe around it, you know, like how am I gonna do my hair, like am I gonna wear shoes, what shoes am I gonna wear, you know? And so like once you have all those pieces, then you can make the brand. But that's just how I work. I feel like some people will just like chase one idea and then fill in the rest afterward, but I don't know, this is just kind of my process.
Yep.
Okay, I'm kind of liking this OMG. It's very fun. I'm thinking maybe I'll do like, I'm gonna convert this to outlines. The little shortcut I'm doing here is just like a little right click, and I'm gonna see if I could like, I kind of want to make it like a little like stamp, or like, I don't know if that's gonna look not like a word anymore. Or like, I don't know, I want to like give it.
No, I liked where it was going, that it like became,
right?
It became like its own thing.
Like this kind of gives me like an all-seeing eye kind of situation here.
Yes.
And maybe I could put some like all-seeing eye like.
Well, yeah, I'm almost thinking of like, I feel like you could do like the OMG and do like almost like a diamond shape maybe, or like something.
Oh, like kind of like. Does that give us like a diamond? Like I'm thinking like an outline. Not really, huh?
Maybe, or it's something that like there is a shape of like a gemstone, but like with the letters is like a stamp. Like it kind of makes this like organic shape. I think that's interesting as like just a secondary kind of element.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, again, my process is like a little bit like, let's just go everywhere and then see Oh, wow. That was cool.
Hold on. What did you just do? What just
I don't
happened?
know. I just did that. I'm doing magic with my gemstones. Okay, the true story is I was gonna make an oval, but then I had a square. So instead of like redrawing the square, I was like, oh, I'll just like round the corners, which was cool.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna drag it, but then when I did it, it made that, and that's actually way cooler.
Okay, because you know what's happening. So,
no, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to cut to my screen, and you keep working. I'm going to cut to my screen because I want to try to explain what's happening because my brain is exploding.
That was crazy.
Okay, here's what's happening. Is in Illustrator, when you make a square, right, it keeps that as a square, right? So the base shape is a square. Now, when I select the square and I round the corners all the way in, it is still a square with rounded corners. So when I drag this down, it's just dragging the square and it's keeping the rounded corners, but now there are less rounded corners, and so it makes it so that it's a long kind of pill shape. Oh,
that was crazy.
My gosh. And it works the same way on either side, is that it's literally a square that has rounded corners, so that depending on which way you stretch it, it will make it into a little badge.
That was crazy.
I have never in my life seen that or done that, and it makes so much more sense than trying to make like the two circles and then connect them.
Can you see my screen? I was gonna show you, like, this is like how I normally would build that, and it's just like a pain. Like, okay, so like I would have like two circles and I'd be like, wow, and then I would usually like draw a rectangle over it, which like never really worked out super well, and it would take like a lot of like, okay, like let's align, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I'm just going to illustrate this so people can see, like, if they don't understand the magic that just happened, like, I want them to, like, get the full.
Yes, and you have to have, like, your smart guides on so that it, like, locks to the points.
Right, so, like, what I would usually do is I would do, like, direct select, and I would select these points, and I'd, like, be like, okay, let's align these, let's make sure these are aligned, and then I would come to Pathfinder and merge it, but you know how long that just took, so that's crazy.
Okay, well, here's the thing. This is why you watch those streams, because we learn from each other, and sometimes we learn from ourselves.
Yeah. Sometimes the greatest teacher is our mistakes.
What a wow moment. All right, cool. Well, let's continue on then.
Let's do it.
And I also like and I think that this is something that like maybe is unique to you and your process from what I've seen. Is that like, and I think I do the same thing, is like working backwards into a brand, right? That like we kind of have some colors, but then we're like, oh man, this little element could make a fun little stamp. And it's like, okay, is that the logo? And you're like, no, we'll get to the logo. And then it's like, okay, cool, look, it like goes on a path. And it's like, okay, is this like part of the brand? And you're like, I don't know, but like it's cool.
I don't know, it might be.
Exactly, that you just like try to find something cool instead of trying to find like the right thing. You just work until it's cool enough.
Yeah, if you do it backwards, now it says GMO. So, you know, we could just do a few brands here.
Welcome to OMG GMOs.
OMG GMOs, geodes. Yeah, I feel like these letters are just giving me such like a interesting vibe that I just don't even like.
Well, I wonder if we like pull an Audible and maybe like the main logo type or whatever is not in this font. Because we can use other fonts, we can explore their stuff, and then maybe this becomes a supporting in some way.
I could see that.
Right? That it's like, you know, we open the basket and it's like tuna. And we're like, okay, let's make a sandwich and we'll like put some tuna on it.
And then we'll come back to the tuna.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come back to the tuna. Yes.
Yeah, or maybe OMG is our tagline. So maybe like geodes is our name, and then like OMGodes is like our phrase, and maybe that can just like go on things. How do we feel about that?
I like that.
Oh, sorry, now my Slack is open.
I'm totally down with that.
Okay. Okay, so I chose like a sans serif. So my thought process here was like, wow, this has like a lot happening. So I'm gonna pull like a really pulled back sans serif. So I pulled out Din, but I don't know. It kind of feels like it feels geode to me. Like it feels very geometric and feels like edgy in some ways.
And I think that the two emotions that we're gonna have to balance here are the like strength of like rockness, and then like the magic of like crystal. And I think that like the bottom one definitely has the like, ooh, it's like zany magic crystal. And so finding the font that like goes with that feels like rock strong, like whatever. I feel like Din is a good zone, but maybe something that's like heavier, has like a little bit more of like a oomph to it.
I do enjoy a good oomph when it comes to text.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna choose a sans serif. So I like the filter tool. It's actually really helpful when it comes to choosing typefaces. Like,
yes, please plug this tool because it's the greatest.
Yeah, let me plug the tool. Although the interesting thing is I feel like the sorting here versus on Typekit is a little different, like the categories that they give, but I do like this one. I feel like this function like works better for me.
Yep, and especially here when we're like, oh, we want something that's like thicker, you can literally hit a property that's like,
isn't that crazy?
Give me them thick ones. Yeah. They need to have just like
OMG.
Yeah, that it's got thick with 1 C and then 2 C's and then 3 C's, and that's how you like decide on what the font is.
I love it. Okay, I'm kind of feeling good about this one. This feels very like geode to me, or like very like thick rock situation. Ooh, Anisette is a very interesting font. Like if you do, it's a variable font. So if you do like, this is a lowercase keystroke and then this is an uppercase, and Andrew's gonna have a heart attack.
Stretchy letters.
Stretchy letters are the zone. We do love it. Okay, I'm feeling kind of good about that one. Let's see, classic go Arial. I don't know.
Oh, what's at the bottom there? Del between black.
Between
3, that one.
3. I do kind of like that one. That G is interesting.
Yeah, and the O feels like something I could like crack open with a hammer.
And that there would be rock inside. Okay,
Yeah,
I kind of like that idea. Maybe let's hold on to like that like reveal, like the geode unboxing experience, if you will.
Okay, yeah.
As inspiration for like a secondary mark or like something like that.
Love it. Okay, so we've got some type options. We've got some tagline options. We're working.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep flowing.
Okay, we're just flowing. Okay. As you can see, I have a lot of sans serif typefaces. And this is, I feel like, where you can really get like lost in the sauce if you just like keep going through that. So maybe we'll just kind of use, you liked this one, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Let's see if it has more. I like to choose a typeface that has like a couple weights. Okay, so it does have a few weights, which makes my life a little bit easier.
I don't know if it's like the one, but it could be a one.
Okay, interesting concept. We can talk about the one, you know. Is there the one? I don't know. Okay, then I'm gonna bring back this one because I thought there was more weights to this one. Well then.
And yes, the double E combo is life. Oh, people really like the variable double E.
Yeah, it's fun, right? But okay, I'm gonna just make a quick case of why we're probably not gonna use this one. You should activate it on Typekit because it's very fun, but because this one's already like so OMG outrageous, like I don't want to choose something that's like equally as extra.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the equivalent of like having both of us at a party instead of having like us at separate parties like FaceTime each other. That's the vibe that we're looking for.
We're not gonna be seen in public together anymore. I'd be like, no, they have to be in separate places.
Yeah, it's too much to have two crazy zany typefaces right next to each other.
It's like patterns on patterns. It's like you can do it, but like, yeah.
It's very true. And if you were just joining us, to recap what we are doing, we're working with our friend Emily Poulin over here on a new show called Graphic Grab Bag. You can go to bit.ly/graphic grab bag, and you can sync up your Creative Cloud library to work with the same assets that we are. Now, Emily just saw these assets and has started to build a brand that she was inspired to make a brand for geodes or for like rock kind of stuff. You can be inspired for whatever you want, but check it out. Go to that link and sync your Creative Cloud library and make something with us. And then you can hashtag Graphic Grab Bag on Behance or Instagram or Twitter, and we'll check those out the next time we do the show. And hopefully we can all get inspired and make some cool stuff together.
Okay, I kind of like this one. Nevis, let's see. Oh, it only has one weight. You know what? For the sake of time, since we experienced so many of those issues, I think I'm going to go ahead and move forward with active. I kind of like it.
Cool.
I think it has enough structure. It's not too weird. It's classic. It's fun.
I agree. It looks good. Also, Voodoo Val said, yes, these fonts all showed up to prom in the same gown. That's exactly the vibe that happened.
Do you ever feel like that though as a designer? You're like, oh my gosh, like I need to keep looking, and then you like look at your like all the ones you pulled and they're like all exactly the same. And you're like, okay, so I know the answer and I've chosen it.
Exactly. Yeah. You open like the document the next morning and you're like, did I make the same thing yesterday? Like just the whole day?
Why did I do this? Yeah. Okay. And then this is gonna be like the exclamation mark is way too much.
Someone suggested like capital O period M period and then capital G odes.
Oh, okay. Like,
right? Because
I don't know what that was.
We both had like a visceral reaction to that happening. Yes, and then capital G odes. Yep, like that.
Okay, this is giving me like real limited 2 vibes. Like, I don't know if that's like a 90s thing, but
it is. Yes.
Right? Like,
can we run with that? Because I think that like
A
like
90s
placing
vibe?
this in a 90s vibe, I think is gonna work.
Okay, well, you know what? It is a grab bag indeed. So we're just gonna go with OMG Odes. And it's gonna be that fun. Should we? And we're not gonna do it in like a sans serif.
I think we can do the two versions. That maybe it's geodes and then the tagline is OMG Odes or something.
Okay, you're really stretching me with this typeface here, Andrew.
I know.
To be honest,
it's
I like don't know what to do with it.
Do we want to start working on maybe like some mark stuff, or work on like playing around with maybe something like that?
You're like, can you like stop playing with typefaces?
Oh no, this is literally the majority of my process is like, how many types can I do? And then I'm like, let's just build it from scratch. And then I waste a bunch of time.
Okay, I want to keep like a little bit of visual consistency here. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to turn this into the shape. So what I did is like release the compound path to get the counter out of the O. And I'm going to, usually I merge them, but it separates. So
you know what we can do, is keep both of those. And it's something that like I've seen in brands a lot, to where there's like a variable logo based on scale.
We do
that
love
maybe
a
it's like
mark.
Cool, like here's the outline of the one, and then when it scales down, it's the other one that it's like, oh, it's really just the inside and outside of the O. I think that's really interesting.
I love that. Okay, and let's like bring a little bit of color into that. Oh, okay. So as we can see, we're really just coming along here and the ideas are just flowing. Okay, let me look at my grab bag again and just see like what else I need to grab in here.
Let's just like inspire again. Just be like one more inspired.
You want to teach me things? Oh, I forgot I have this graphic style.
Oh, that's right. I think you'll need to drag it into the document. Yeah, and then go to
like my swatches or something.
graphic styles.
Graphic styles.
And it should be right there.
Amazing. And then does that lock me into that color, or can I change it?
You can change the color and it will keep all of the textures and stuff.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. I'm just gonna pull in like, well, I'll use our amethyst color. Oh wait, no, I think it's a slider color.
Ooh, yes, here. Golden Rose. Yes, 90s vibes. A little bit of Charmed sprinkled in there. Yes, I was not allowed to watch a lot of TV growing up. Like I couldn't watch Power Rangers because it was too like violent. But my mom loved Charmed, and so I was allowed to watch Charmed.
That's so funny.
Yeah, which was like no Power Rangers because it's too violent, but also let's set some demons on fire. Like
yeah, I mean, why not? It seems like a good balance. Okay. Yeah. All right, so then I also have these elements. This is a very interesting approach. Oh, sorry, not you. You can wait over here, little OMG. Okay, I do like this that's happening here. Maybe I'm like trying to envision if this was like, oh, that did not interact how I thought that it would. Like maybe we give like a little bit of a textured behind. I don't know.
Yes, I literally thought the same thing. Like when you pulled out, I was like, I feel like they need to be interacting with each other, but I'm not sure how. But I agree that could be a cool little mark, because it almost is like the action of like striking, or like it's like a glimmer, that there's some kind of like motion happening with that like round shape.
Okay, I'm gonna pull in like some like geode type shapes and see if we can start getting like, I don't know, like some dimension, or like, I guess this can be my graphic style piece too.
I love our friend Yoav in chat said, I just had the idea of using an acronym somewhere incorporating OMG standing for Original Material Geodes. I love that.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Original materials?
Geodes.
Materials? Geodes. Okay, you know what that's giving me? I love, okay, this is like a, I don't know, probably a me thing, but you can tell me if it's not a me thing. Like if I want this like apothecary type, like workwear type, neo-Americana, I don't know. I'll pull out like really long phrases like this and like use them as like little like whatever, like footers kind of, I guess is the word.
Yep. There are so many times that especially when I'm working on brands, I try to get clients to give me like the maximum amount of information and content. Because I was like, I definitely 100%. Will want things to just put all over the place. And so having something that is a longer version of Original Material Geodes, I think is great to add in as like an extra little
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm liking that. I'm going to put this in like a, ooh, okay. This might be like not, ooh, okay. Maybe we like overlay. Something's happening here. It's happening in my brain. And I'm hoping that it's gonna like happen for all of you. And
I almost wonder if this is where like colors start to come in. That like this scribble.
You're like, stop layering black over black. It's not working.
Oh.
Okay. What's happening? Good things. All right.
All right.
This is how I work. I'll be like, okay, and we use that artboard, and now we're gonna draw a new one, and we're just gonna move what worked onto the next one.
Yes, that's exactly how I am too. That I'm like, okay, cool, we've got some momentum. Let's go ahead and stop that and just start over with like where we are now.
Okay, cool. Okay, something's happening.
Can we fix the spelling though?
Oh, please.
Original.
There's an I.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I was working on this project and the word was conscious. And then there's also the word conscience. And they look almost exactly the same. And I was having quite the field day where I was like, I don't even see the typo. And we had to go back and forth for a while till I put my own typo.
All right. Thank you, chat. Original. That is correct. Yes.
Yes. Thank you for the great idea and for keeping my spelling in check, because sometimes, you get a lot. Oh, okay.
And again, this is what hopefully Graphic Grab Bag is all about, is we started with all of the elements and now we've honed in on one element that we really like. And we're going to start using like, okay, cool, let's use these swatches. And then maybe we'll come back to the other elements and try to incorporate them. It's really all about just finding random inspiration and seeing what you can do. And I love that it's gone from like, oh, it needs to be this zany, rocky, whatever, into like, is this a beauty brand? Yeah. Like, am I going to put this on my skin at some point?
Okay. Am I gonna put this on my skin? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it feels like something that like, it's like a geode that like I get a crystal, but then the inside has like Himalayan mud salt.
And now we all are opening a skincare brand. Sorry, I started talking and then read what I was reading and then I just got lost in my own.
Ooh, I liked the like double lockup that you had though. Oh, okay.
I don't know. There's gonna be something happening here. Yeah. Dare I say I could maybe turn this back into this typeface?
There's no rules here. I mean,
there are no rules.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, chat. When was this original material geode company founded? Like, can I get like an EST date, like a little like historical accuracy here to just really round this out?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try and figure out like a cool type lockup for like what this could be, because I like this sitting on its own. I feel like this is fun. All right. How do we feel about like an illustration of a geode? I just feel like that might like take it away from this like neo-Americana like vibe,
Yeah, I mean, if we want to try, even I almost wonder if one, we do like an illustration of a geode, or two, we play around with that like vibe that people have been using of like the kind of like blobby shapes, but then mix like a blob with like some sharp edges on it, like some sharp pieces coming off, so it like becomes like a sharp blob.
Okay, a sharp blob. Yeah, I could see a sharp blob. I was gonna try and give like a... Why can I not grab this? Weird.
1726 is the year that we want to go with. So 1726, they've been around for a long while.
You're the originals.
Yeah, what else has happened in 1726?
OMG 1726 is our new brand name.
Yes, all right.
I'm loving that.
Keep working there. I'm going to get us a history lesson of what was going on for context.
In the world at 726.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to use our fun little shape that we learned how to make. Oh no, I'm going to use the counter of that shape because it was so cool. I'm going to maybe like, okay. Geodes. Geodes are like layered, colored, like broken. So maybe we need to like incorporate some like, I don't know, like broken elements into this. So maybe I'm going to like,
Ooh. I like where you're going. Keep going with that. At some point, I'm going to show people how to make like a terrazzo pattern really easily.
Ooh.
Like a broken kind of terrazzo thing.
We do love terrazzo.
Okay, so today in 1726, our friend Benjamin Franklin was sailing back from England to Philadelphia. So for reference for everyone, that was happening today. Also, Gulliver's Travels was being published on this day in 1726.
I do love Gulliver's Travels.
I do too. Okay, so yeah, people are saying blobs, blob diamond triangles, blobs paired with geometric crystal outlines, maybe. Oh.
Blobs paired with, say it again, blobs paired with geometric outlines?
Yeah, so maybe it is like some line work, but then we use maybe these kind of shapes to like fill in just like a blob color behind them. So that like there's some kind of like geode like line work.
I like that. All right, so I had my iPad plugged in, but like that wasn't working, so I'm gonna use my pen tool. So
Good luck,
wish
everyone.
us luck. Yeah, I'm gonna just like draw from memory like what my favorite crystals look like, because like, um, everyone has a favorite crystal,
Yep. You can even
right?
pencil tool if you wanted to
That's
keep it
true.
loose, but it's your prerogative.
Okay, my thought is like because this like the ROMG situation, like to me these marry well, right? Of, like this one's wild, and then she's like the mature, like refined one. But if we're gonna use this as our main, then I could see her being like a little more pencil tooly. So
Okay, let's try this.
tell
Let's
me.
let's dive back into our bag. So select the lines that you just made, or yeah, draw something and then select the line,
My triangle. Okay.
and then let's apply that graphic style to it.
Ooh, are we sure? Okay.
Yes. So apply the graphic style. You need to go to graphic styles, not the library.
Oh. Graphic styles.
Okay, so apply the graphic style.
Can I just drag it?
Yes.
Oh.
So now take the color off. Yes. And so you get the like wiggly edge, right?
Wow.
So like we'll have to turn off the shadow that's on there and stuff, but like using like line art and then apply the rough in to get that wiggly edge. And then we get like cool line art plus one of the elements that we're using.
Okay, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the grain for a second too, just for like my computer.
Yes, that's
Ooh,
cool. That's
now
cool.
it's happening. Okay, okay. I'm feeling inspired now. Isn't that just how like projects go?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. My neck hurts because when I get excited about a project, I'm just
You're like,
yes.
all right, I'm gonna go with like a pyramid shape as like, back to the all-seeing eye situation here.
Cool. So
Okay.
as you work on those, so you're gonna be drawing some hands,
yeah.
drawn stuff. I'm gonna flip over to my screen. You guys, y'all are getting like the bonus round today. I'm gonna flip over to my screen and I'm gonna show everybody how to make a terrazzo pattern. So we talked about kind of making that random vibe, and here's how I do it. I'll make a square, okay, and from there I'll literally take my pen tool and I'll just start clicking all over the place. So I'm just gonna make random lines through this object. So just as many random lines as you want, make sure that they're intersecting. They need to be like pretty intense and crazy for us to get the effect that we want. So I'm literally just gonna continue a couple more over here. All right, looks good to me. So now I have all of these lines going through a shape. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select both of them and come to the Pathfinder over here and click on this right here. So the divide. And what divide is going to do is it's going to basically punch out every piece from every shape. So I hit divide, and then we're actually going to go into outline mode by hitting Control Command Y. Ooh. And I'm going to grab the lasso tool up here holding Q. And what that does is it just selects all the anchor points. And I'm going to go around the edge here and just delete everything that isn't in that box. So just clicking and dragging, making sure I don't select that actual box. But I select everything that is outside that box. So a little bit more here. There's a couple pieces I missed. There we go. Okay, cool. So from there, now I have all these pieces, and you can kind of see that they're all separate. If I select them, they're all separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup them. And now we have all these pieces selected. This is where it gets crazy. We're going to go to Object, Transform, Transform Each.
Wow.
And what it's going to do is I'm going to scale each of these to about 90% each. It's going to scale all of them individually down to whatever the pieces are. And from there, check this out. We can even rotate if we wanted to, or we can have it scale from like a different size, or we can have it move. So I'm just going to scale it down a little bit. Then I'm going to hit OK. And from there, I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize, Round Corners. Turn these corners way up, and there we go. Now we've got some random blobs. I think those corners were actually way too much, so we're going to stylize round corners. Let's take this to like 150. Sure, there we go. Then we got some nice blobs going on, and if I want to, I can come in here and I can do that roughen effect that Emily is working with as well, and we get some nice little wobblies and wobblies in a terrazzo pattern. So pretty crazy. You can see there we've got a nice little pattern, and it's basically made from slashing up an object. You can use the knife tool as well. And we slash up that object and then scale all of those down a little bit, and it makes sure that none of them are touching, but they're still making like a beautiful pattern. So really crazy. All right, Emily.
Sharing.
All right, everything's moving. Everything's working. If you are near a piece of wood, someone knock on it.
I have a wood desk.
Yes, if
I got
anyone
it. We're gonna be
like
good.
fingers crossed, if we have any like good, if you have crystals, if you just
You have
hold
actual
those up to the
crystals?
screen, just like
Let them charge in this
exactly.
digital lighting.
Maybe that's what happened. Is since we were working on a brand for like geodes and crystals, like maybe it threw off our mojo a little bit.
Maybe it was too much energy, and that energy started
Yes.
interfering with like the the stream, obviously.
Okay. Yep. All right, our friend Paco is going to hop in, so we will be back in just a second. We're going to remote this. We're doing it on the fly. While you guys are waiting for us to flip it over, ask questions. If you have any questions about design, about business, about literally anything, pop those into the chat, and we will answer those when we get back. So we'll be back in just a second. All right, graphic grab bag, take 25 and action. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our new show, Graphic Grab Bag, with our friend Emily Poulin. Hi, Emily.
Hi, how's it going, everyone?
Oh, so good. We're so glad that you guys were able to join us here at the beginning of this show that we've just started. We are having a lot of technical difficulties today, but we are back. We are in. Our friend Paco came in from the heavens and descended upon us to bring back this show for us to get back into it. Emily, let's hop over to your screen and talk a little bit about what we're doing, what we're working on, all that fun stuff.
Let's do it. Okay, awesome. So in the meantime, I've been drawing some geodes and gemstones, which has been very fun. Here is the one, I just converted it. So this was the shape that I had drawn with the, what's it called? The pencil tool. And I went ahead and pulled in that graphic style from our library / grab bag, applied it here. And then I did do a little manual adjusting just because for the scale of it, the roughness and things like that weren't applying how I'd want them to. So I came in here, which I don't know if that violates the grab bag rules, Andrew, but at this
point, there's no rules.
There are no rules. Okay, great. So this was the rule I made then. I just went ahead and like changed the level of detail on that just because again, the scale, and that was not the right option to do it that way, but just playing with the details, something that I did. So as you guys are working, if that's something you want to do, just something I'd recommend. And then I was happy with where I had it because I feel like it looks like archaeological, I guess is the word that I'm going to use. But I kind of want the inverse of that. So I'm going to look at what it would look like to release this compound path. So I'm just going to right click it and do this. And what that does is it separates the outline of the shape from the shape itself. So I kind of think this is cute. It might be a little flat, so I might need to add like a little more dimension to it by using another one of these lines. But I kind of think that shape is cute. So I'm going to do that also with this little guy and see what happens.
I really am convinced that like the crystal mojo like just threw off the mojo for the day. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot this little line. I know when we did it, there should have been like some like sound or like some light effect that we knew that this was going to happen. That would have
exactly
been, like, really
100%.
helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're just joining us, you can go to bit.ly/graphic grab bag. I'm sure Voodoo Val will drop that link for us in the chat. And it is a show that is highly interactive, completely unpredictable, which feels on brand for today. And there is a Creative Cloud library that you can use and sync to your files to collaborate with us and make a brand based on the assets in there. Yes, it's basically chopped for graphic designers. And it's something that you can be a part of and post on social media using hashtag graphic grab bag. We have decided to work on this geode vibe, but you can decide to work on whatever you want.
This one kind of looks like a turtle. Turtle geode, kind of something happening here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and group these. So I have these outlines ones. I might use those, but I think I'm kind of gonna use like more of the shape, I think. Oh, I did not group this one. And then I'm going to pull in those beautiful little color palettes that we had used earlier.
Which are in the inspired by category.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the exact colors we would use, but it's inspired by the colors that we're
going to return to my my palette over here. So I had kind of wanted to do like a warm gemstone and like a cooler, like mystical gemstone. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this to like make it editable. And I'm going to use our original color here and maybe here, and then drop in this darker color. I'm using the eyedropper tool to grab that.
Ooh,
a little bonus. And then I'm going to put this one as the highlight and see if this looks dimensionally sound or if this looks like actually crazy. You know what? Maybe these should match. And then this whole side is.
Yeah. And someone's asking, Emily, how are you creating shapes from negative space with those? Because we have them as lines and then suddenly, yeah, it's just magic. What did you do there?
Yeah. Let me walk through that again. So I came here. So these were all the ones that I drew. And then I usually copy everything like a million times because eventually you'll get to a certain point and then you're like, oh my gosh, I wanted that other version. So I would always say non-destructive, like copy it. And then I do object expand appearance. And then that gets to this certain point. I'm not quite sure what this interim period is, but I always do it again and click expand again. And then go fill stroke. And that's going to give you this solid shape. Ooh, they're going to convert these paths to shapes.
Yes.
And then make sure I'm using the right words here. And then I jump over to Pathfinder and I'm going to merge those using this first one of Unite. So now it's actually officially one shape. And then I right click that. I'm sure there's the long version, but I right click and I do release compound path. And then that's going to give me, it actually breaks out these little pieces by itself and then does the whole shape as a shape itself, if that makes sense.
Oh, so you're basically pulling the non-compound path parts of the compound path.
Yes.
And so, that's the negative space. Okay.
That's the negative space. Yeah. You could inverse this by like doing the similar thing and then like drawing a shape and like merging it out of that, like reversing it out. But this is the way I like to do it because then it gives you like the individual pieces by itself. So yes. Okay. So there's my purple gemstone. Then I'm going to do this one too. This was my original color, so maybe I need to keep it this color. So I'm going to bring in this one as the highlight and I'm going to keep the shadow on this right side. So then I'll make these ones like that interim orange is what I'm going to call it. Yes. Not a full burnt orange, but an interim orange.
I like that. We have burned orange. So maybe this is like a sauteed orange. Like we're just like, we're mid simmer ready to just like, it's not quite burned, but like we're getting there.
That's where the chopped aspect is coming in, I believe is what you're saying here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. And then, yeah, since you guys didn't get to see me like do this live here, I'll just do another one. So I use the pencil tool because I like how like it flows. So I'll do like a circle-y gemstone kind of. So I'm just going to draw like a fun, weird circle shape. And I'm going to actually, use a color because I don't know why that turned off.
And the pencil tool is really great if it doesn't matter to be like precise. Like here, we're just going for a fun aesthetic. We know that we have that rough edge. And so some people want to use the pen tool, but it can get very precise. Pencil tool keeps it loosey-goosey. You can change the amount of like roughening or smoothness that it has. And it's just like a good vibe.
So I'm going to go ahead and just bring this in. And then I've just been flipping it over to that. And then I'm going to go under the appearance panel to be able to edit this a little bit more.
Yep.
And right now the glow isn't super useful, but if I'm going to put this on the background, I'm going to bring that back. So I'm just going to turn it off for now and turn off the grain because at this scale, you can't really see it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it like that. And then, I'm going to turn that off.
You can actually make, it may be helpful to make that a graphic style. Just so you have like a version of it with just the roughen on there.
Would I just hit plus?
So with the shape selected, just go ahead and go to graphic styles and hit go graphic styles right under that. There we go, and then just hit plus. There you go, and now it saves the graphic style.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a pro tip. If anyone is ever doing things that like you're doing multiple of something, literally just make a graphic style for it, so you don't have to keep applying effects. It's so much quicker.
So with my new graphic style. That was the worst circle I've drawn ever.
Yes.
That one's not much better, but I like the style. So, okay, so I had my shape, I clicked the style, love it. And then I'm going to bring in just like some little like connecting lines because it's like a little, I don't know if they make circle gemstones. This might have been an interesting choice here.
Yeah, no. I think, okay, here's what I think is, yes, in my brain, it was like the like gemstone that the lady has at the end of the Titanic. But that's a heart. But like that idea to where it's like almost like a ruby and you like hold it and then you go like, oh, as you drop it, like that's.
We could do a heart. Let's see if this like really ugly heart is that's gonna be too difficult. It's fine. All right. I'm just gonna run forward with this one and this will probably be the gemstone that we like just don't show people because it's not gonna be as pretty. But I just want you to see the process. One
brand element that like you make the brand element and you're like, this is like a like 90 level kind of, right? Like we've got 89 other things to use before we get here.
Yeah. And so if this never sees the light of day, that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. So again, I'm just going to expand these to make sure that they all turn into paths. And then I'm going to highlight these, merge them and make sure they merged. Yep. And then I'm going to release the path. Wow. I kind of like this little background. So I'm going to save those because I think that could be really cute. And then I'm going to do this one as like the blue. Actually, I'll make the light on this side to give us a little more fun depth and then make this one like medium color. Eyedropper tool is, everything I love in life. Okay, cool. So now, little hand tool, cool. So now we are working with our little gemstones here. Cool.
We've done a great job at expanding that color palette. That was the thing that I thought was going to 100% throw you off, was like,
that
here are
was the
these
thing.
two really ugly colors that like don't go together, and you somehow found a way to take that inspiration to make something awesome.
Wow, thank you. Okay, cool. So I kind of am thinking like maybe we'll like do the name around the outside. I'm not quite sure, so I'm still gonna like try and like mess with this a little bit. And then maybe I was thinking it could like sit, so maybe, or okay, hear me out. What if we break this up a little bit and do like a little bit of like a,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, right? There could be something happening there. Let's see.
I have an idea for tomorrow for us to explore that's like already not a good idea, but I'm going to say it, and then I'll show you why it's not a good idea tomorrow. So if you come back tomorrow, we will be finishing the second half of this show. And we're not like done right now. I just don't want to touch it because it's a bad idea. Remind me, someone in chat, to do make mesh with top object to get dimension on the type. So just
make mesh with top object.
I'm gonna make a little post-it note. I'll stick it right here. We'll come back to it tomorrow. It's a bad idea, but it's gonna look cool, and then we're gonna decide that it's not good. That's what's gonna happen tomorrow. So
I love that.
Come back tomorrow where we find out that we are not good at this.
We were making bad decisions.
That's the tease. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna apply graphic styles as type. Is that possible? No, it's not.
It is if you select the type.
And I turn it into an outline probably?
No, you can do it not as an outline.
Do it live?
Yeah, so you just have to select the type. Yeah, and then it will do it. Magic.
But I don't think it applied the rough, which is
it won't apply the rough, and you're right. It needs to be expanded to do the rough.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll do it with our OMG here just to see, and then click that. Ooh, and she's glowing. What a queen. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna do this all monochromatic. Hello? It was really obstinate there. Okay, love this, love this. Things are happening. Right. Going back to the appearance panel, let's turn off this glow for now because it's a little, but I'm gonna actually up this detail and see if this
we want it more rough.
Ooh. Okay, honestly, that's really interesting. I'm gonna like zoom out so we can see. Oh wait. Oh, it didn't.
Like just a blob.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, you hit cancel.
It's the worst when that happens.
I know.
Huh. Like, I don't like it, but that's actually very interesting. Ooh, okay.
Welcome to the show here today, where we don't like what we're making again. That really is so much of design is like, okay, I have an idea that's going to suck. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, 100%. We tried this idea. It sucks. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that ever again. Okay. I'm going to see what it would look like to have a thicker font right here.
Yes. And Paco says, she's glowing. What a queen. Yes. I had been designing for a long time. Emily and I got to work together, and Emily like uses feminine pronouns for almost all design. And
look at her.
Yes, it is rubbed off on me. And there were so many times that we would do critiques and we'd be like, ooh, she's giving us this. Like, she is a strong, established woman.
But she also feels, yeah,
she is having a picnic. She is gorgeous. She is thriving. And so, yeah, in my brain, whenever I give feedback, almost across the board, I use feminine pronouns for like general design now. I don't know why, but that's where Emily took me.
I don't know how I got in the habit of like personifying like what it was that I was working on, but it really did become like an issue because then we would present to like outside people and then be saying things like, well, she really doesn't, it was bad.
Yes.
Okay. Just a lot of me messing with this right now. Okay, outer glow, we're gonna turn that off. Love it.
Let's make a graphic style that doesn't have the glow or noise so that we have one on deck for like just objects as well.
See, this is why it's helpful to have another person helping you or like watching what you're doing, because otherwise if I was just doing this by myself, I would just keep doing the same thing,
Yep. And it's funny because we made the shortcut because we knew we were going to be doing it a bunch of times. And then we like did it a bunch of times. We're like, we need a different shortcut actually.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead then and edit this one, right? And then say, actually, I want this to turn the grain off.
Check this out. Yeah, so
close off, and then I'm going to go here.
Yep. So check this out. So you can actually reassign. So if you like option click and drag that text onto that box, so undo that, option click, and then drag onto the box, that one, it reassigns everywhere that is. It will apply the new one. Yeah. So graphic styles, anything that is set in that graphic style now has been reapplied with what you just put on there. Magic.
Welcome to the show where Emily learns things that she didn't know. This is cool. All right. I love that. Yeah, and Andrew's gonna dance for you. That's our like second portion. Okay, so there's like something interesting happening here. Don't know if I love it, but this could be like a fun like secondary mark maybe. Like
Okay.
let's call them.
Ooh. Okay. Let's go back
Yes,
to the squiggly things that you were working with before.
squiggly things.
The like.
Oh, these?
Yeah. Yes. Those.
Were you personifying the squiggle? I love it. Okay.
Yes. I need a ribbon. So like that, and I wonder if like the letters are the same color as the squiggle, and then that like multiplies on top. So it becomes like the letters in the squiggle are
Wow.
one thing, and then they're like
Okay.
multiplying onto the color underneath, or like
I see the vision. I'm
I
gonna
think
choose
that
all
there are
one
like three
color.
elements, yeah, that can like be a thing.
All right,
Ooh,
that one might be
oh.
like, was that two? I feel like, ooh, that might be wild. Okay, should I do the same? I'll do like the darker purple, maybe?
I'm not mad about it. I definitely want it multiplied because I want to see the like white
Right.
bits show through.
Oh, okay, you want that one on top then. Interesting.
Yes,
Well, okay.
and then like
I'm gonna send it to back and then I'm gonna do the shape to see like what interaction.
okay.
Okay, it is an interesting texture. I'm so sorry. Let me like, oh no,
Chaos.
it is not chaos. Okay, I'm gonna bring this over. I just killed the Slack channel. Sorry about that. Okay, so here would be that darker. Maybe the OMG. I feel like there's too many things happening here. What do you think?
I like the OMG kind of floating around, but like maybe one version is the letters and one version is the squiggles.
Okay, I may regret doing this right now, but I do feel like maybe I've made a situation where like this looks like a cute like I don't know. I feel like this could be kind of like a cute little ad thing.
I kind of agree.
Are you feeling that?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are. We got something happening here. I'm gonna make sense of this typeface, Andrew. I know it is gonna be the death of me, but I'm gonna do it. And then I'm gonna bring in like a neutral. Hello? Is it gonna? All right. Might be a little too warm actually. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that.
Oh, because it's screened.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. All right, so okay.
Do you want a pro tip? This is like my super secret pro tip. So bring back what you had.
Here it is.
So if the object's interacting weirdly with the background, make a copy of that object and then paste in place.
Behind.
And then make it white and reset it to normal.
Oh, I see where you're going. Yes. Okay.
And then put it one layer in front of the background, if that makes sense. So like push the white back behind everything and it will
yeah, I hear you.
Yep. So that's a super good way. If you want like a multiply effect, you can cheat by having white behind it so that it doesn't interact with the background. It just interacts with like the other objects.
But I want it to actually be purple. Is that what I wanted? No.
I think that's kind of what we had.
Wait, the super secret pro tip. It got me lost. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make this purple. And then I had this. Maybe I'll just do this one. Okay, and so yeah, I'm gonna do command behind.
So it's Command C for copy, and then Command Shift V for paste in place. There you go, and then just send that white backward.
I don't know why that's not.
Huh? It's still interacting a little bit wonky. I think that's.
It's the crystal power. Like there's no other answer.
It's the crystal power.
Whatever the crystal power wants is what the crystal power is going to do. All right. I like this. I'm just going to forget the background for now. And tomorrow we'll figure out like a really cool way to make that like layer and something.
Yeah. I almost want to see it in that like yellow that you had and just multiply it.
This as the yellow?
Yeah. And then just multiply the yellow down.
I'm nervous for how this looks like a Lakers situation here. Yeah, I thought that might get a little muddy, but it might work if I pull it into a little lighter purple.
Or maybe if those colors flip. Yeah, there's something there.
There definitely is something here.
Let's like definitely not get hung up because I tend to get hung up on details like this that it's like, let's try it a million different ways.
And then you're like, wait, okay. Well, I feel like this was kind of working in a situation here. So I'm going to keep this how that was. And then I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave these OMGs as like a, I kind of like them. I for some reason I feel like they're grounding, which is weird because they're really just like floating. But this could work in some sort of shape situation here. Or maybe we make them like actually like a dark gray or something.
There is something there.
There is something there. Okay, cool. So we have some geodes here. Let's like, go over what we actually have going on here. So we have some cool geode shapes, which these ones are not grouped. Another thing I thought could be cool. So like say we have this shape then, and then we have this, we could just bring this as like kind of like an overprint situation and like make that the lighter color.
Yep.
And then I could be like I could see this like sitting as its own shape. Like that's a little more like tonal.
Yep. I can almost see it misprinted too. Like it's hanging over the edge kind of thing. I think that's interesting too.
Is that like 90s? Like OM geodes? Like what did Limited 2 do? Like what's like the 90s?
I do feel like the misprinted overprint is a very like 90s thing.
Right? Yeah, okay. It feels like a little flat, but maybe that's just like because I've been looking at it.
Well, okay, what if we do this? What if we take the outline that you have and then like the shape and then break the individual pieces like in the multiple colors that you have, and each of the individual pieces are like misprinted a little, right? So we still have the dimension and the color, but it's still a little wonky.
Okay, so it's like this, you're saying, right? And then I'm gonna expand it, release the path.
Yep.
Okay.
And then leave like
I'm gonna turn these to colors so we can see them and then we can move them.
Yes, so like leave that, and then each of those like add the same dimension you have on that right one, but then like off print all of those too, and see if that was way too much.
Wow. Okay, let's do it. Let's go there. I'm just gonna legit copy these colors and see how this turns out. Okay, and then we're leaving that one. Am I missing one? Oh, this one's that one. I was like, hold on. Okay, and then that one is this one. Okay, cool. And then we're thinking like off print it like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and it just doesn't work.
When you paused, I was like, wait, did I really miss it? It's okay. You know what? It was a good idea.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let's leave it. Put the lines from the left one over on that right one. Yes, like copy that on top of it.
Arrange, bring
I think maybe that's what I wanted.
But
and then like offset that, like make that offset a little bit.
But I think that needs to be like a color or something.
I also think that's it's just no, it just doesn't work.
There's a lot happening there.
There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, but it is really cool.
I love that like design often turns into like graphic therapy. That it's like, so it sounds like there's a lot going on here.
It sounds like that might have been too much. Okay.
Yeah, there is.
But I want to land this plane for us because I feel like it's just been, the plane has been circling, the plane has been offline, online, many things. So I'm going to try and give us like
we were full nosedive at one point.
We definitely were, and it was very scary. Okay. So here are like the graphic options we worked through today. So we had some like cool color options, some styles, and some, I don't know, type treatments that we kind of worked through.
I like the blue one. I think we need to like explore that some more tomorrow. Yeah.
The only thing that I'm like sad about is that I need to use that orange color. So I don't know where that's going to come in, but I'm going to make it happen.
That is the orange color. You have the burnt orange in that one gem, and then the amethyst in the other one. So
my personal preference though would be like, here's like the blue and the purple because they're just so happy together.
Welcome to Graphic Grab Bag, where your feelings don't matter.
Welcome to design, kids. All right, cool.
That's it.
And then I'm going to put this kind of here and see if we can like, I outlined that. Who let me do that? That was a poor choice.
There's something very like middle-aged mom on vacation to Tahoe gets this on a sweatshirt, like the left one with like the little swash. Like it just has that vibe. It's 1996. We're on vacation to the Grand Canyon, and my mom sees this shirt and she's like, I have to have it.
There's nothing else for me.
Yeah, there's nothing else that deserves to go on my body other than this shirt with a swash, and it feels cool.
Originally I would take offense to what you were saying of like, it feels like a mom would buy this on a sweatshirt, but then if 90s is our goal, then like I am delivering. So
moms are like target demographic. So awesome.
Moms everywhere are rejoicing with our geode. Okay.
Yeah, like I think that's dope.
Is it just so dope?
I think it's the most
are we
possible
making dope things over here? Okay. It could just fit here, and then underneath it's gonna be like OM geodes. I think I spelled something wrong. G-O-D.
G-O-D-E.
No, that's
No,
right.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay,
Original
cool.
geode materials. Yes.
Cool. I'm going to copy this too. All right. So then our goal for tomorrow, then let's just like game plan a little bit. Maybe.
Yes. So we've got 10 minutes left. Let's recap a little bit. I'll give the context of what we did today. Then you take us through what your process was, and then we'll talk a little bit about where we're going tomorrow.
Okay.
So, hi. Welcome to Graphic Grab Bag. This is a show that's, if you're just joining us, today's everything's gone so great today. Thanks. You don't need to watch the replay.
Flawless.
Yeah, you don't need to watch the replay. Just trust me, and I'm going to walk you through what happened today. We are doing a new show called Graphic Grab Bag. You can participate by going to bit.ly/graphic grab bag. Our mod will drop the link in chat. It is a creative cloud library that you can sync to your work and be inspired. Much like the show Chopped, you can open up that library and be inspired by the things that are in there. There are colors, fonts, different textures that you can incorporate into your designs, and we want to see what you can make. Once you're done, use the hashtag graphic grab bag on any social media and we'll be able to check it out. Emily here has been working with our assets today, mostly with our graphic styles, our colors, and then some of our markings that were in that Creative Cloud library. And Emily, yeah, if you want to open the library, there we go. Do you want to take us through your process, what's happened today, and give us the recap so that people don't have to go back? They can just like hang out and watch this part. Yeah. Just imagine how great it was.
Yes. So in recap, this was the grab bag that I opened. I had 2 colors. I had 3 typefaces. And then these really fun textured elements. I had a graphic style, which includes like a grain and a drop shadow and a glow. And then there's this texture that I haven't touched yet. So we're going to have to get there tomorrow. So on deck for tomorrow. So on Artboard 1, we worked through like names of what we thought it could be named. We looked at the 3 typefaces, which here they are typed out in case you want to see. We landed on the name either OMG Geodes, OM Geodes, something in that vein. From those 2 color choices, I expanded the palette a little bit, gave us some hue saturation options for us to work with, and just kind of pulled out all the elements and tried out some other typefaces that would complement that. On artboard number 2, not much happened on artboard number 2. We tried some like circles. We tried some like incorporation of the swashes.
We got so excited about the like line art that we started doing that we're just like, okay, everything else goes away. Like we just want this.
Yeah, and we tried using like, I think the shape is going to make a comeback. I'm just going to say it. This is like the counter from the one of the letters. I think it's from this one. I think that's going to make a comeback. Oh, we decided it was made in 1726, which was also when Gulliver's Travels was published.
And Benjamin Franklin sailed back from England to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and then we made geodes. So everything important happened this year. And then this is kind of where we're ending right now, where we used the compound path to make some negative space images. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Some positive shapes instead of just outlines. And then still trying to figure out like, how does the type work around this? And the end goal is still going to be either 90s mom sweatshirt or kind of like a workwear all-American brand centered around geodes. And the phrase is OM Geodes. So we're going to work that in somewhere.
So we do have like a little bit of time left, but I'm going to give the best transition as if this was the end of like a 90s episode of Seventh Heaven. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, today. You know, we worked a lot with shapes, we made some lines, and we worked with positive and negative space. And just like in life, when we have positives and negatives, we need both of them to combine to create something truly beautiful. That's all I got.
I was like fade to black, or like our names would play, or like what's the full image here?
The real lesson that we learned is the friends that we made along the way. That's what this show is all about. Okay, I also want to call out in chat, Blair Canady said, my 4-year-old came in and said, they're doing great, but not as good as you, mommy.
That's amazing.
That's all the feedback that I've ever wanted is for a 4-year-old to be like, you're doing good, but not as good as my mom. Because I'm like, yeah, of course your mom's going to be like
doing the best, obviously.
Top tier. But like, if I'm right under that, like moms are like high level. So if I'm even close to mom level, like I'm golden.
And I'm honored, honestly.
Yes. Oh, and someone said, oh.
What'd they say?
No, sorry. You did a thing and I was like, these are actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's just going to be our catchphrase. We're going to really focus in on OMG.
You know what I want now?
What?
Emily, this is, yes, Emily tosses her hair into the wind and the stream ends on a freeze frame. Yes, we're gonna end
We can
this.
make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna end this stream on a freeze frame. And like I'm not even running production, so I don't know how it's gonna happen, but we'll just freeze until that happens. We'll give you the illusion when we get there. And okay, cool. All right, so Paco's in my ear and said that we can do the freeze frame at the end, but we need to like smile and get a screen capture. So let's pretend like it's ending right. We still have 5 minutes, but let's pretend like it's ending. Hey, Emily, thanks for joining us today. Okay, cool. All right. So continuing, we need to remember exactly that pose for the end. I think here's what I want it and that it's turning into. And I love that, like, this is probably a bigger conversation. You have a almost signature style, I think, that's very like high end and refined. And it just like feels like, I think I said it earlier, like things that you make, I want to like put on my skin.
Oh, okay.
I see like this in packaging. Like the original like I see it that it's not just like a big bin of like rocks that I'm gonna like pick a bag of. Like I'm going to Target and I'm getting like a nicely packaged box and I open it and there's like a geode inside and it comes with like a little like trinket as well. Like it feels like a high-end gemstone.
High-end rock. Thank you.
It just is refined, I think.
I feel like maybe then tomorrow, depending on how our gemstones go, maybe we like put this on packaging or something like that, because I feel like that would be really fun.
I agree.
Or like some sort of like brand material or something, or like like a branded like flyer, like come get our gemstones or OMG.
I agree. I think that we definitely need to do packaging tomorrow just because I think it's super fun. A lot of people are saying temporary tattoos.
Oh, okay. A new business venture. Let's do it.
Right. I think, yeah, these would make great temporary tattoos, and we can show tomorrow, we can actually highlight offset path. That's the word I want. We can highlight offset paths, and I'll show you how to make the appearance of like a tattoo or a sticker by taking your object and then offsetting that path and adding a drop shadow. I do that a lot to show like, hey, this is what the sticker looks like. And it's like, it's not real. All and right. Yes, we made it. Let me wear this on my forehead. A Voodoo Val is so in. I do. Right. I definitely feel like it is the, it would be like the Twilight vampire skin version of a mud mask, right? Like you put the mud mask on, but then you walk out in the moonlight and it like shimmers and you're like, OMG odes. Like that's the brand that
and
we're
it
going
shimmers, with. He says. That's the only way that I wear my masks. Like never in my own home, only in public, actually.
Yes. Oh, we've gone like full Illuminati now.
I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it there, but then I saw like this and like there was a shape and it kind of sits nicely. So I just kind of felt like maybe it would work, but yeah, I don't know.
It could. That's the thing. There's something there, and maybe it's maybe okay. Try this. How long do we have? We have 2 minutes. So this will be the last thing that I suggest to you.
All right, walk me through it.
So the swash that you have right next to that, the blue one.
Yes, this one.
Use 3 of those to make a triangle. And then put the text in there. So it's an outline instead of being like a fold in triangle.
Okay.
Right? This might be terrible, but it might also like kind of work.
The issue that we're going to have here is that they all are like exactly the same, but we could always use a different one from my grab bag.
That's true. There are a bunch in there.
How do they end chopped? I feel like, is there like are we going to take it there at the end?
I think that's interesting. Yeah. And then it just like scales down and then OMG can like stack in there. I think the like brushiness of it complements the illustrations really well.
I do enjoy a good brush texture.
Yeah, someone's saying you need to sell this at Cabazon. This is the most Cabazon product that I've ever seen. If you guys don't know, Cabazon is like on the way to Palm Springs, and it's very touristy, very like trying to be high end kind of thing, and it just feels right for this. I agree. Ooh.
Did you like it bigger? I feel like it was probably a little bit better. Kind of like, oh, I don't know what I did there. Oh, maybe it's just not loading. Hold on, let me just. Oh no, I have no idea what happened there. Okay.
Oh.
I think I made a ghost. Crazy. Its spirit, it left.
There we go. It has ascended to another plane.
I don't know. Those crystals are strong.
Yes. Oh, this is gorgeous. All right. Okay. Oh man, I'm going to put Paco on the spot. I don't even know if I want to do this. I'll just say this. Hey everyone, there's a schedule coming up after this. So just stick around for the show that's after this. I don't know if we have a slide anywhere, but there is great content coming up after this show a little bit later today. I'll go ahead and just talk about who's coming up next. It is going to be Howard Pensky with our Adobe XD Challenge. There is a slide, yes! The XD Daily Creative Challenge with Howard Pensky. Our friend Kyle T. Webster at the end of the day. I'm going to watch that show today because it is the most relaxing, decompressing show I've ever watched in my life. So I'm going to need a minute, and we're going to watch that show today at 2:30, and then later is a creative encore with vector art with our friend Kimmy J Designs. So also major props to Baco for that. And Emily, that's it. We did it.
That was a day one. Day two is going to be flawless, fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be great. We are going to finish this up. I definitely want to see if you guys are working on anything. If you have downloaded our Creative Cloud library, post it online, use the hashtag graphic grab bag, tag Emily or I. We'll highlight some of those tomorrow if you guys have anything that you're working on. I would love to see it. And yeah, you know, we got through some hard stuff today. We made it through the positive. And just like in our younger lives, we come together and we leave as friends.